You forget one password and suddenly everything stops. You reset it. You create a new one and then forget that one too. Now multiply that across 3 billion accounts exposed in a single breach. 60% of people reuse the same password everywhere, and attackers are counting on it. Passwords are about to disappear, but the real question isn't what's replacing them. It's why we ever trusted them in the first place. In 1961, inside a bustling MIT lab, Fernando Corbato faced a problem that hardly anyone else in the world had: how to keep dozens of researchers from poking around in each other's files on a single giant computer. His answer was simple: a login prompt, a secret word chosen by the user, typed in before the mainframe would open its doors. The Compatible Time Sharing System, CTSS, became the first computer to demand a password. The code stored every password in plain text, right there for anyone with the right access to see. But back then, the goal was not to stop hackers or cybercriminals. It was just to keep your colleague from reading your draft paper or deleting your simulation. Corbato himself later admitted there was no real security, it was just a courtesy. But the world did not stay that small. By the early 1970s, ARPANET connected computers across continents. Suddenly, remote logins mattered. In 1973, Peter Kirstein added the first password requirement to the UCL gateway, and soon after, official protocols like Telnet and FTP, documented in RFC 765, hard-coded the user and pass commands into the DNA of the internet. Still, every password zipped across the wire in clear text, readable to anyone who cared to listen. The threat model was simple: trusted researchers, private networks, low risk. No one imagined millions of strangers logging in. Unix arrived, and with it, the ET tree passwd file. At first, passwords were just weakly encrypted, sometimes even left blank. But by 1979, Robert Morris and Ken Thompson introduced the crypt function, a one-way hash with a 2-character salt. This was the first time a password could not be reversed with a simple text editor. For the first time, the idea of protecting secrets from strangers, real adversaries, started to take hold. Yet the foundation remained: a single word chosen by the user, stored somewhere and checked at login. The pattern was set. The world would build on it for decades, never quite questioning if it was enough. But that is not where things went wrong. The password was never just a secret, it was a test of memory. As soon as the world moved online, people started bending the rules to keep up. Most stuck with the same handful of passwords, repeating them across every new website and app. Surveys show over 60% of users admit to reusing passwords, even when they know the risks. The reason is simple: no one can remember dozens of random strings, especially when every service demands a new one. So people got creative. They picked easy to remember words, pet names, birthdays, favorite bands, and dressed them up with a number or a symbol. Examples like password 123 or summer 2024 became the quiet norm. When a site forced a change, most just tweaked the old version. They might add the digit 1, replace the letter A with the @ symbol, and call it secure. Attackers caught on fast. Automated tools now guess these patterns in seconds. But here is the part no one talks about: the sticky note. Nearly 27% of people still keep passwords written on scraps of paper, tucked under keyboards or taped to monitors. Others keep a notebook by the computer or a list in an unlocked phone note. It is not just nostalgia, it is survival. The mental load is too much, so people outsource the problem to paper. For years this worked, until it did not. A small but growing group turned to password managers, letting software remember for them. Yet even today, less than half of users trust these tools. The rest keep juggling, mutating, and writing things down, convinced there is no better way. But that is not where things went wrong. The real trouble started when these everyday habits collided with a world that no longer played by the old rules. LinkedIn, 2012. A hacker posts 6.5 million password hashes online. No salt, just raw SHA-1, cracked in hours. The leak is shrugged off at first, but inside those files, attackers spot a gold mine. Passwords reused everywhere. Within days, the same cracked strings unlock accounts on Twitter, Dropbox, even some banks. The breach does not stop at LinkedIn. It spreads, quietly, through every service where someone reused a favorite phrase. Yahoo, 2013. The numbers are staggering. 3 billion accounts exposed. Not just emails, but passwords, security questions, backup contacts, all sitting behind outdated MD5 hashes. Some of these secrets had been recycled for a decade. When the breach finally goes public, experts call it the biggest credential spill in history. For a moment, it feels like the whole internet is up for grabs. But it is not just about one-off hacks. Credential stuffing bots take over. Every day, billions of login attempts flood websites, fueled by stolen password lists. The bots do not need to guess, they just try every leaked combo again and again. Even with a tiny success rate, the scale is brutal. A 0.2% hit rate means millions of accounts fall every month. No human could keep up. No sticky note or clever memory trick stands a chance against that kind of automation. And here's the part that rarely makes headlines. Most breaches do not even need to break the lock. They just find a copy of the key, reused, forgotten, or left in plain sight. The password is not just a secret anymore, it is a single point of failure, multiplied across the entire digital world. Billions of people, billions of accounts, all dangling by the same thread. Every login becomes a gamble. You type, you hope, you fail. The password you thought you remembered is gone. The reset link arrives, but it's just another chance to get phished. Last year, 86% of data breaches started with a phishing email. That's not a typo, almost 9 out of 10. Attackers don't need to break in, they just wait for you to slip up, then slip right in. Help desks are drowning. In some companies, password reset requests have shot up by over a quarter since stricter policies kicked in. One study found a 27% spike in reset tickets after new complexity rules. Every new symbol, every forced change means another wave of people locked out, frustrated, and calling for help. The cost? Billions in lost time and support. And it's not just the numbers, it's the feeling. The sinking pit in your stomach when you realize you've used the same password on 3 different sites. The panic when you see a suspicious login alert. The exhaustion of inventing yet another password you'll forget by tomorrow. But here's the part that really stings. The system blames you. Can't remember? Your fault. Got phished? Should have known better. Locked out? Reset again. It's a cycle that never ends, and it's wearing everyone down, including users, support teams, and even the companies themselves. If you've ever felt that frustration, you're not alone. And if you're curious about what actually comes next, how this mess finally gets fixed, now's the time to hit subscribe, because the story doesn't end here. The next chapter is about to change everything. But before we get to the fix, let's look at how the password system finally started to crack under its own weight. Passkeys flip the old script. Instead of a password, your device generates a unique pair of keys, one public, one private. The public key goes to the website. The private key never leaves your phone or laptop. When you log in, the site sends a challenge. Your device signs it with the private key, but only after you unlock with a fingerprint, face scan, or PIN. No password to type, nothing to remember, and nothing for a hacker to steal in a phishing attack. Even if someone tricks you with a fake site, your device will not sign the wrong request. The biometric data stays locked inside your device. The magic happens under the hood. Navigator.credentials.create runs the show, isolating your private key so it cannot be copied or exported. Unlike SMS codes, which can be hijacked with a SIM swap, passkeys are tied to your hardware. Brett McDowell from the FIDO Alliance puts it simply: public key authentication means there is nothing for criminals to phish. The result is a login that is faster, safer, and nearly invisible. Apple, Google, and Microsoft are all in on killing the password. The numbers are hard to ignore. Apple's own rollout saw password reset tickets drop by 45%. Google's passkey users faced 33% fewer phishing attacks. Microsoft's enterprise pilot cut help desk calls by nearly a third. The FIDO Alliance ran a cross-platform study, and 90% of people logged in successfully, even when moving between iOS, Android, and Windows. But here's the catch. If you lose your device, recovery can still get messy. Privacy advocates warn about new risks, even as the old ones fade. Craig Federighi summed it up. Passkeys let you log in with a glance or a touch, no more typing passwords. The direction is set. Passwords aren't just fading, they're being replaced everywhere. Right now, over half of new devices sold this year support passwordless login. The shift isn't just about security, it's about making technology invisible, frictionless, automatic. As passwords fade, what we trust changes too. The future won't ask you to remember. It will simply recognize you. Subscribe for what's next.